Please listen to this. It looks like the finger pointing has already begun in various people associated with this particular hotel are basically reaching for straws towards being able to comfort people by putting the blame off on other factors. Please listen to what the Vice Mayor Tina Hall has to say about this incident.
I read, that was the only report I was able to read so far. I read an article on Yahoo News today that went in depth about the different email chains. I have not seen those email chains myself. I can say that I served on a commission in 2018, and I was not made aware of any of the situations there. When I read the report of the it reads like an inspection report of the building, and it's a standard inspection report of what needs to be done, where the deficiencies are. And I have to say, I analyzed it. I saw the critical on page 7 stood out, that it was critical. But at the same time, is that really what caused this? You know, it has to do with several factors. When the building was built, what was the Florida building code at the time it was built, how much routine maintenance and yearly maintenance is done to the building over the years. On one hand, if they were told it was safe at that time. You also have the factor of the project that was being built right next door to them in Miami Beach. They sit on that, the Champlain Tower South sits on the border of Miami Beach. And the building, when there was a demolition of a building around 2014 or 15, was a demolition of a building, historic 2014 or 15 was a demolition of a building, historic structure that sat there. And then this new building was built next door to them. So there could be incidents that happened there that were contributed to it. In the article that I read,
that were contributed to it.
Some of the that were there could be incidents that happened there that were contributed to it. In the article that I read, some of the concerns that were sent to the building official were that there were concerns about construction work being done next door. Again,
pointing fingers.
This was not brought to my attention at the time, or I would have looked into it. The complaints I got were about the beach being closed, and because it cut off. It was a beach access point that was cut off because of this construction, and that was a problem to a lot of our residents who walk the beach path.
Should folks who live in at least one building that I know of, a so-called sister building that was built by the same team around the same time, should they feel assured that they're safe, or should they evacuate?
I would leave that up to them. We did send our structural engineer team in to look at the garage there, because it was reported to us that there were significant chips, not cracks, but chunks taken out of the columns in the garage. And our structural engineers determined that the building is safe from what they saw looking at that garage. You have to look at the history of the building. You have to look at the age of the building, how much work was done to the building maintenance-wise. And you know that through your assessments, because you get an assessment, you know what work needs to be done, and you get that done. And so those are factors that are contributed to this. If the building is well-maintained, then, I mean, I live in a condo, I'm 4 blocks away. I feel safe in my building. I sit on the condo board, and I know what the repairs have been done. I'm a resident there for 8 years, so I know what's been done in the past 8 years. I don't know what's been done prior to my coming there, but I see how management is, how things are handled, and that's what you have to see. Now, you have some owners that are, they own the property and they rent it out, or they're not there full-time. So full-time owners would know more of what's going on in the building on the day-to-day level.
Right. Well, Surfside Mayor, Vice Mayor Tina Hall, our thoughts are certainly with you and all the folks in Surfside, Florida today. Thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Still ahead, the Trump Organization reportedly faces a deadline.
I didn't realize that the dimensions change between one city block and another within just feet towards going over into that new building that she said got torn down in 20 and 14 and then rebuilt. Probably began the construction on rebuilding probably in 20 and 16, 17 and 18, and probably finished it up in 19 towards putting down the carpet and all the glass and etc. How that she can even begin to falsely accuse of accusations that it was something possibly done in the new building that caused the old building to fall. It just goes to show you that people are reaching for straws towards trying to hold somebody else accountable other than themselves, because they are and will be held accountable for this disaster. Good luck to all of us, and let's be sure and pray for the victims of those who are suffering in such great peril, because this is once more some of the signs that Christ talked about, that in the last days we would see signs in the heavens and signs upon the earth such as man has never seen before. We are going to see things occur like we have never ever experienced or seen before. That was what Jesus said over 2,000 years ago. I just pray to God that those who did perish, that they had some sort of relationship with the Lord, and may they rest in peace, and may God comfort their loved ones in this type of harsh environment.